I had to go to this facility so I could work out a little bit. And the black lady that was checking me in, because I had my face covered, because I didn't want nobody to know. And at one point she says, well, baby, I'm going to have to see your face if I'm going to have to sign you in here. Now, I run a tight ship in here, baby. I'm going to have to see your face. And I took the mask down and she saw me. She said, Lord, she said, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I've been praying for you. And I said, wow. And I knew that gave me an indication that once I did get out of all of this, I was going to be all right, because I was going to see God.
I'm your professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you see the clip. Get this book on Amazon. Listen, it's something we need to talk about. That kind of makes me sentimental, man. Not kind of, it does. I'm glad somebody's praying for him. I really am. And I learned a minute ago, it's not a jealousy thing, it's not an envy thing. Just on a human level, could you pray for me like I was a celebrity? And what I mean is this. Maybe it's my time to do the praying and not ask to be prayed for. And I'm not going to say maybe it is. But what I'm saying is this. I remember as a child having my grandparents making me understand the relationship you should have with God. And I remember all the things that they would go to God for. And I remember them praying. And I remember them saying things like, I'm praying for you. And I'm praying to God to protect you and cover you and to bless you and to watch people who, if all they got to give, the most important thing that they have to give in life is their heart and love for God, to ask God to not do something for them, but to do something for somebody that they love and they care about. That's died in our society. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword where you got people praying for people's success, and then you got people praying for people's downfall. That's the bad part about celebrity, right? But what happened to just the regular people? You got to ask the question: parents, are you praying for your kids? Grandparents, are you praying for your grandkids? Because that's really what it was at the time. To get on your knees and to thank God and to praise God and go to church to praise God. I get it. But if you would, but in essence, people were skipping over themselves and asking God to help us. And I think we've gotten selfish with the prayers that people have given, have asked God to watch over us and love us and bless us and forgive us and, to keep us in his arms and have angels watching over us and whatnot. I think we've gotten selfish and entitled to the point where we don't pray for people, you know. And I think about that because I remember being a child and a teenager and a young man and having those moments, and I still do it. I did it. I've done it recently, where I thank God, but I say something to the effect of, "Could you please, whatever, could you do something for someone else in the world who needs it?" Basically, don't know them, you know, race, religion, age, it doesn't matter. It's just somebody. And I thought about like how we don't talk about it. We don't think, people don't say like, I've been praying for you. And using celebrity as a reference, I'm sure that lady's been praying for her family, her friends, her children, her children's children. I'm pretty sure of it. But to walk upon a person who says, I've been praying for you, you know, we've lost that compassion. Um, and you wonder why, we talk about the world being a little cold. And part of the coldness of society is the lack of love and compassion and care. And God, could you do this for me? God, could you do that for me? You know, and I used the reference, recently, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. Could you give your blessing to somebody else? Could you say, God, I have a gift, and God gives everybody gifts, and I have a calling, or you've blessed me. Could you at least could you give my blessing to someone else, or a piece of my blessing? And the reason why I say that is because there are a few people that I've seen that God has blessed that spent their time making sure they bless other people. I got to give a shout out to somebody like Shaq, and I know he doesn't do it for um, accolades, but Shaq does a lot of dope stuff that you just can't you can't express, like a good human being. Like I know he's done some things. He was mean as a basketball player, but as a human being, man, it's different. You know, he feel like he's been blessed and he's been taken care of, and he takes this time and he does that to other people. And you don't have to be rich. Like you don't know how much somebody coming to you in need, or you seeing somebody in need, and you just, hey man, take that, do this. Here you go. Um, it's okay. When you see people in predicaments, because I can say that the people who were praying for me, it made its way through other people. And in the sense of, I've been in situations where it's just everything was, all was lost, as people would say. And then something just happened, and it's like, how? Why? Uh, and I think, I, for one, I'm going to become more of that, because I think it's needed, that people need to know that, you know, prayer is powerful, and it's an interesting thing when you know somebody is going to God about you, caring about you, loving you, wanting the best for you, wanting God to protect and look over you. Because those people don't even ask that of themselves. So, you know, that's the reality of it, man. I think it needs to be, everybody needs somebody to pray for them. So tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.